What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike. I'm going to be giving you your reading, right? This messages are going to be coming from, or for, I should say, the Sagittarius. Let's see what we got for you guys. All right, Sagittarius. Okay, so the first one I'm about for you guys is make sure that you guys are not being afraid for change, right? Change is a beautiful thing in many different ways. Change can often be from leaving the country that you're at to a different one, switch relationships, maybe you might find somebody and you guys make sure you guys will split up and then you got this new person. Changing environments, changing relationships, changing auras, changing friends, changing work environments, things like that. Change. Never be afraid for change. Open up to change. Matter of fact, have a place in your heart for change. Ask yourself, hey, when change comes, would I be ready for it? Let me stop preparing in case anything happens. We should always have an open mind for change because change is a beautiful thing and change can be an amazing thing. Especially when you ever moved into a new apartment and things like that, you changed locations and you felt more so like free. Like your mind went wild. Like it went free. It was it detached yourself from the previous situation and now you're in a whole new one. So just be open up to change, my Sagittarius. Okay, so you're gonna be making a lot of new decisions in your life, right? And these are gonna let you to be in a better position, right? The things we do, the decisions we make, for sure, alternate our reality, alternate our future, right? So whatever decision you make, actually, is it appropriate? Is it going to get me somewhere? You know what I mean? The decisions I'm making today, is that going to like a decision to party late night or to wake up early and to study, things like that? Any decision you make today will affect your future. So just ask yourself, the decisions I'm making, is that going to lead me to a better future, right? So your decision, they will definitely want you guys to remember and reflect on the decisions that you're making. I was on a post, I read a post and it said to sacrifice a little bit of fun for a long-term future, right? I mean, you miss out on a few parties, it's okay, you focus on the future, that's good. You're gonna be more regretful if your future self is gonna be more regretful of your past self when your past self doesn't submit to things they need to do. I'm not saying you can't party, I'm just saying do that after what all your goals are done. When I say goals, I'm talking about your daily goals. Like, okay, this whole week you worked hard, you saved up the money you need to save up, or you did what you're supposed to do, anything you're supposed to do, and then you decided to treat yourself on a night out or whatever, then fine, you know what I mean? But if whatever you're doing that's fun is getting in the way of the next day, like if you're like late night partying and it prevents you from waking up early and doing what you're supposed to do, then I think that's kind of more of a setback than a congratulations, you know what I mean? So just ensure that you guys are you're not getting like discouraged about giving up a few parties for long-term success. Detoxify yourself or detach yourself from anything toxic energies, whether it be things that you are watching on YouTube, whether it be situations that are not that you shouldn't be involved in, friends, anything that comes off as like negative or things that are just not where you're trying to be at or what space you're trying to be. It's a lot better to have a clear mind than a mind full of BS, right? I'm gonna tell you guys like that. It's a lot better to just not even be thinking than to be thinking about things that are not even relative to where you're trying to be in life, right? A lot of times knowledge is only important if you're actually using it. So if you're speaking of things or you're discussing things that are just irrelevant to your specific life, then honestly, it's just a waste of time at that point, right? Because knowledge is only useful if you put it to use. If I was a maintenance guy and I told you how to fix plumbing, I could say plumbing, maintenance is maintained and stuff. So I was like, hey, you should do this for electricity thing or whatever, right? I gave some advice, some tips. But let's say you never use that information. It's actually relevant to your life. Regardless if it's valuable to me or not, you just never use it. So I would say stay away from things that clog your brain with things that you potentially are not going to use, right? Not saying you have to avoid it completely, but like I said, anything that does not serve your purpose, right? Make sure you guys get rid of that, or at least limiting that as much as possible. Just like chips and candy and stuff. You guys know that stuff is not really good for you. So you will eat it, but you're gonna limit it. You know what I mean? You're not gonna eat it all the time and for meals. Eat cake every day. You're not gonna do that, right? You're gonna limit it because you know that the toxins is going into your body. So you're gonna limit it. What else we got for you guys? All right, everything that's done in the dark will come to light. This is from my shadows, right? So everything that is done in the dark will come to light. You don't have to worry too much, right? It will come up, it will show up. Everything comes up, everything shares up in the future. That's just as to say that your work ethic, the things that you're doing throughout your day, the best times, like it's no saying to say that the best things that you do when it comes on to fulfilling something is things that nobody else sees, right? That's the real work that matters. You know, the things that nobody else sees. And like I tell you guys, what's done in dark can come to light. You can look at it in both aspects. You can look at it in a negative light or a positive light. You can look at it like negative things that are done in dark will come to light. Or you could also look in the positive way to say that, okay, related to you, let's say you're a single person, you don't really hang around nobody, so that probably wouldn't make sense to you. But what makes sense to you guys as a single person that don't really hang around nobody is the fact that people that, or your success isn't dependent on what people see you as, right? It's dependent on what you see yourself, right? If you're learning it by yourself, you gotta make sure you're putting more work in, or more, I wanna say more preparation in yourself than when you will when people's watching, right? So let's just keep that in mind. Okay. Listen. Sometimes it's okay to just hold off on telling people your dreams and journeys, right? Because not everybody is there for you. Not everybody's going to be a supportive system. And I want you guys, for my Sagittarius, I want you guys to be silent sometimes, right? Be silent on things that you're going to be doing, any upcoming events that's going to be happening. Sometimes it's okay to move into a new apartment, then let people know, hey, yeah, I already moved, because sometimes that's what Spirit wants to happen, right? So depending on the vibe of the person, depending on any situation that might be taking place, sometimes it's best to just hold off on this upcomings, right? Let's just kind of, unless it's like your close pal or whatever, then I don't see you pointing and telling everybody your business. You know, keep a couple things low key for you, right? Make sure you guys are keeping things so silence came over you guys, so maybe you guys need to just, you know, big things might be coming and they definitely want you guys to keep that silent, right? So you got this aura with you guys, and this is why you're gonna shine, right? You got this aura, this shining moment. You're gonna have a shining moment, right? Matter of fact, this came out after the silence card. So this is gonna be a shining moment. This is this energies I'm letting you guys know. This is gonna be a shining moment, right? So with this shining moment, you're gonna have to keep these things silent, right? You're gonna have a shining moment real soon. It could be something from a couple seconds, a couple minutes, or a couple years. It's like what they say, light is on me. I'm in the spotlight. This the moments is going to be coming to light. So you're gonna have your moment of what they say, 15 minutes of fame. You're gonna have your moment in your life, right? So it's gonna be coming, but they definitely want you guys to keep it on low. If it's not publicized, they definitely want you guys, whether it could be you winning large amount of income, you could be transferring jobs, you could be upping your pay, you could be bringing a new child in this world, you know, anything like that. That's a shining moment, right? It's a varied moment where everybody gets around. It could be a wedding, everybody gets around, things like that. But sometimes, depending on the situation, depending on your certain people that you used to conversate with, that would determine if they want you to keep it solid. Because if you feel like your family's iffy and things like that, then maybe your shining moment comes on to your wedding, Maybe you might just need to do a private wedding, because at the end of the day, a lot of things that we have made public and celebrated as a group, a lot of times it doesn't really matter what's on the outside, like a wedding. Nothing on the outside of you and your connection with your lover matters. So if you have to do that side, then by all means, because it's better to do something private that's really, matters between both of you guys, than to do something around a bunch of negative people or people that don't really care about you. You notice that you have red flags, and then what ends up happening is now these people destroy what you guys had built. So make sure we're keeping that in mind, right? If this video inspires you guys to do anything positive, right? I wouldn't inspire you guys negatively. And I inspire you guys to do anything positive, whether to get out there in the world, explore, things like that. Take action on it, right? So if you get inspired by any videos, any situation, any friends, family, things like that, to do anything remotely positive in this world, take action. That's what they want me to tell you guys. What else we got? Okay. Know your worth. Make sure that you guys are putting a value in yourselves, right? These doesn't have to be monetary value. This could be values of, this is what I won't do, this is what I will do. Things like that. Just having a guideline, having principles, morals, things like that. And when you do, you put that value. Stick to it. Don't let nobody tell you different. Don't let nobody tell you good or bad, nothing. Stick to those values. Sometimes, it's okay to bend them a little bit. If you feel like, all right, the situation calls for, like, if you feel like maybe you're working, right, you're technically paid to do this. And look, listen, you could have an opinion however way you want to put it. I know that this got me a couple of pluses, in life, because when you're working a job, typically, they call these brownie points, right? Not saying you have to literally do it for actual credit. That's not the point. Let's say you're working a job, right? And why I say bending your situation a little bit is because, say you're working a job and the situation is, hey, you get paid to do this job or whatever, right? But say you really mess with the person. Say your manager's like, hey, listen, I'm short staffed, and they come to you correctly, and and you're like, all right, cool. And they're like, I just need you to work this a little longer, or I really need help with this, or whatever. And they come to you as a human being, and they're very professional, they're very cool, charismatic. You guys have a great time. They can make your life easier, you make their life easier. That's called just, whatever you wouldn't have done for another person, that's called just bending the rules a little bit when it comes on to, your values and stuff like that. Because you have a high value, but if you guys work together and there's something that you would do for them that you wouldn't do for other people, that's that might not become as straightforward, but it works in your favor. So I don't want you guys to be afraid of working for a little. It's not a work for brightness, but it's more about being flexible at the same time as know your work. Because obviously, if this person was an a-hole and they came to you or like ask for favors, you're not going to want to do it, right? But if the person is respectful and you guys earn each other's trust and relations and things like that, when it comes on to, even though it's a job and you're getting paid to work per hour and do this specifically, if you guys mess with each other, showing this every day, you guys go to work, a relationship that is a great aura, then I definitely would suggest you guys to be flexible, because it can take you places. You know what I mean? I'm not saying on a whole other note with some dark craziness. I'm just saying in general, I definitely implore people, if you're working at a certain job, not a certain job, you're working at any job or location, if the manager schooled you could the manager, because they can help you out one day that you're running late. Like, even though technically it wouldn't be, just like them being short, it's not your problem, but if you was running late, it's not their problem why they should, write you up, whatever. So it's just more so working with your situation. Like, if you're somebody that always on time, things like that, you get put on the good list or whatever. Like, it's just that's, they say life's not fair, but we can make our own benefits, pros and cons to life, right? We can pick and choose our battles. We can, be flexible. We can do these things, and it's not, like I said, this is not on the word seducing, none of that with the manager. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about just straightforward, do what you need to do, keeping it professional, and if you guys exchange your favors, it's professional. It's not none of that other stuff. So that's why I say it goes for men and women, right? Because I know that sometimes it can be arranged and things like that, but no, this could definitely just be professional. You put in extra work, they put in extra work, and just hand in hand. I'm just giving you guys some tips that I've used personally to catapult me in a business a lot further than my co-workers, because I was able to put in the work and the time, and they refused to, they didn't want to, for whatever reason, and I decided to take that on, and I got further in that career choice that I used to do. But when I heard it talk about me, that's going to end it on the Sagittarius. I hope you guys appreciate, or I appreciate the reading, why I said that, but hopefully you guys appreciate the reading. I guess I was meant to say that, and hopefully you guys enjoy it and things like that. If you guys do like it and you guys find something helpful or anything like that, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and I will see you guys in the next video.